Howdy everybody, and welcome back to the farm. I'm Dave with Dave's Old Iron. Today we're going to be working on a little bit of a project, but first we got a few things to take care of around the farm. We haven't had any rain for the last week, but that rain we did have produced some very interesting stuff. We have mushrooms starting to pop up around the farm and the house here. There's a bunch here around the base of that willow tree right there. I don't know if those white ones or the brown ones are edible or not. I don't plan on eating any of them. Anyway, welcome back to all of my long-term viewers and subscribers and the new subscribers to the channel. We're going to get right with it today, but first, what do you get when your cup is only half full? Well, you go get a new bra that's a size smaller. Whoa. First thing I got to do today though is we're going to make a quick trip up to the head gate, make sure I got water coming down for the farm. I haven't checked it for a day or so, and yeah, pond's probably getting low if that water shut off again. I had to take up my post hole digger and dig out some more sediment mud out from in front of my gate that was blocking the gate again. So hopefully it's still working. Yep, once again nothing running, so we will argue with this. Sorry for fast moving, a bunch of mud and stuff coming through. There we go. That's looking a little bit better. I'd say right about now, let's get started with the restoration on the drawbar for that Culti-Packer. But I hear something coming, so let's take a quick gander and see what it is. Here comes some of the big equipment. Yay, Trump. Well, that'll make the neighbor over there in that other house all upset. Yeah. These guys are probably heading right over here to do some field work here not too far from me. That's the big header for that thing. That looks to be at least like a 30-footer or so. And here comes another header. And it sounds like another big combine coming along behind it. McDon heads on Case IH combines. Yeah. Oh, that's a brand new one right there. Followed by some grain carts. Now, that's some big farming there, folks. Well, anyway, let's get started with the restoration of the drawbar on the Culti-Packer. Let's see if this thing starts. Yay! A little bit warm in here, so you're going to have to put up with the AC sound a little bit here. And yeah, still have 3/4 of a tank of gas, or diesel, as the case may be. If you recall a video or two ago, I discovered somebody had helped themselves to the diesel fuel out of the new LS tractor, which upset me slightly. I'd rather them steal the diesel out of the tank than bust the damn thing. It costs more to fix it than it's worth. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to sneak out of here and we're going to go retrieve a Brillin built, I think it's how they say, Brillin, yeah, built Culti-Packer that we're going to use on the back end of the grain drill when we get out here into the south field and do a little more reseeding work this fall. So yeah, that's what we're going to do with the LS. So what is a Brillin Culti-Packer? Well, what it is a device with its single axle shaft in it, and it has cast iron or cast steel wheels, depending on what vintage age it is. And the wheels, instead of having a flat tread or flat tire, have a point. And what they're designed to do is sink into the soil a little bit to help pack the seeds into the soil so they make good contact and good germination. And it's usually pulled along behind a grain drill or some other apparatus, whether it be a disc or whatever, to help smooth the field out from all the clumps, from like dirt clods, that sort of thing. And like I said, to help make the seeds have good contact with the earth so that they germinate. This one we're working on is about 100 years old or so, and it needs a new drawbar. So that's what we're going to be up to in this video, is installing a new drawbar on it, and I'll show you what it is here in a second. Alrighty, this is what I'm talking about right here, that's down here in the weeds. You're getting a good close-up look at it. Okay, here it is, folks. I thought it was a Brillin product, but it is an actual Culti-Packer. Culti-Packer, I think it is. That's what it looks like. It is made by the Dunham Company out of Brera, however you say it, Ohio. And it has the quick detachable wheels, or packing wheels, in it. And this is what I meant about them being pointed and tapered and whatnot. So yeah, this thing is what we're going to be fixing. Most of these are cast singly, like this one. You can see the seam there between them, so they roll. However, the axle shaft is locked together there with a finger joint kind of a concoction that I think is set up as kind of a ratcheting paw, because if you look at it, these pins are flat on this side and tapered on this side, on this one, and tapered here and flat on the other side. I don't know if you can see them. There you go. Yeah, so it might be some sort of ratcheting thing so that this whole unit can make turns left and right. Now, the only damage I know to this thing is it's missing whatever bolted on there. And this nice cast arm here that it's supposed to sit and rest up against has been broken at one point in time off of this side over here. In fact, there's a big chunk missing out here, and that arm came back here. That way you could tip it. I don't know if any of you are following the Olympics. I'm certainly not. About the only thing worth watching from my mind would be the beach volleyball girls, but there's not much there to see. So anyway, I contacted the International Olympic Committee about a new sport to put on. Yeah, called suntanning. Unfortunately, they declined my idea, saying that the best I could ever hope for was bronze. There it is. For those of you that have been with me for a while, you may recall that I bought this piece of really super nice, straight, very heavy pine 4x4 at a local lumber yard. And we're going to use it for the drawbar on this, which originally had. I even went as far today as to purchase, pardon me, some new carriage bolts and square-headed nuts, like what was originally used to mount the drawbar on this thing. Yeah, let's see if we can get this back hole lined up here. Anyway, this piece of pine, I've had it in the basement of the house, there, the dungeon, as I call it, for months now, and it has been soaking in linseed oil. I'd go down and apply some to it with a brush every so often, and yeah, it is really soaked up nicely. I should probably hit the ends of it again in a few places just to keep it from weather checking, because this will be left outside in the weather. Which brings me to the next thing. Gonna get you folks to vote on it. Should we throw a coat of paint on the metal or just leave it as is? Personally, it's a Rustoration, so it might just stay the way it is. Unless you all have a different idea. Anyway, there are the square-headed nuts on there. Let me open this up and we'll tighten. Well, I'm glad I didn't go any shorter on those bolts. And I'm not using lock washers. I probably should, but the original didn't have any on it, so I hadn't planned on putting any on it. I did get the square-headed nuts though, because I did want it to look somewhat original. I left the pair of mounting bolts a little bit loose because I'm going to have to finagle this right here. It is the sway bars or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, that overlap right here. Yeah, see, we got a problem here. Yeah, we'll bend that down and hopefully it'll slide over. Pardon my bald spot. There. Now that one isn't going to line up because it's got a bend in it. So we'll have to straighten that out and see what we can do to get that to line up and fit. Okay, if we look here, from that joint of my finger out to the end of the tip, how much room we have between the end of my finger and that hole. Yeah, now look at it. We go this way, of course, finger on the other hand, but you can see we're right there. In fact, we're over the hole a little bit. So if we come back here, you can see that hole is offset from the center line, if you will, of the piece of 4x4. So what had happened was I'd mounted the 4x4 on here upside down to what I'd originally intended. I had deliberately drilled that hole off center so that it would reach and work with that bent angle brace. So yeah, all I had to do is unbolt it, flip the 4x4 over, and yeah, it's going to line up and work. Silly me. That's what happens when you wait too long to get something put back together again after you've taken it apart. Got the carriage bolt head down flush on the top, and we're through both bars here. So now all you got to do is put on the nut and the lock washer, or the flat washer. Now because of that I-beam shape, or the letter I shaped of those straps, there's been a lot of discussion on which way to use square nuts, either the rounded side or the flat side. I prefer to use the flat side down against the washers. However, I'm thinking the rounded side would be better in this application because it'll concave that washer. I'm sure the right way around to using these nuts is going to cause another YouTube discussion. I'm putting them with the curved side up back here simply because of aesthetics. Aesthetics? There we go, aesthetics. And yeah, I just like the look of them better that way. Whether it's right or wrong, don't know. But I can tell you, if they're the other way around, they leave openings in the very corners where they're tapered to catch weeds and stuff in there. Yeah, I think when we get them tight enough that the linseed oil starts to ooze out, that's tight enough, wouldn't you? Now we'll get on to the hitch part of the drawbar where it attaches to the tractor. Yeah. Okay, this is the original drawbar that was mounted on there, or the hitch assembly. If you notice, it's kind of bent downhill there on the bottom. That's because it went underneath the drawbar and bolted on underneath, and to get it to sit level, this was bent downhill a little bit. But I think what I'm going to do, because this is a 4x4, and I put a 4x4 in there, I'm going to have this huge gap between the top and the bottom. You know, we're talking 3 3/4 of an inch, plus however much these two are offset. You know, see, they got a little bit of an offset in them. So yeah, it's going to be a huge amount there. So I think what I'm going to do is flip them and mount them this way and narrow up the distance on that end. Yeah, so all we got to do now is I'm going to take these down to the shop, wire them up a little bit, and I may or may not squirt a little bit of paint on them. We're just going to get the dirt off of them because they are going to be sitting back in the dirt again. And yeah, then we'll come out and drill some holes and mount these things. Okay, there's the two links for the drawbar to hook onto the drawbar of the tractor. And I'm just going to give them a quick shot of some Rusty's Black, just to kind of help slow down any rusting that they are going to incur or have or whatever. So yeah, we'll just give them a light coat, let it dry tonight. Tomorrow morning I'll hit it with another coat, and then we'll put them together. Alrighty, welcome back everybody. It is the next day. We are going to mount the metal ends here onto this drawbar. Now I am using a lock washer this time around, because I don't have metal to wood contact. I have metal to metal contact on the bolt, and to help with the compression to hold it all together in tension, we're going to put that lock washer on there. Now I could go here to this hole in the drawbar metalwork to help everything, you know, if it was to pull through and go. But I think what I'm going to do is go back here to the slip position and drill the hole through there, and it'll still clamp, because if this one comes to the point where it's pulling out, that means the wood is split and the wood drawbar needs to be replaced again. Yeah, something kind of like that. Now we'll put the carriage bolt in there and tighten everything up, and this will be done. Now, I just still didn't wallow it out enough, but we can use the farmer hammer and beat that down in there. That'd be good and tight. Yeah. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this video today. We're going to just tighten up these nuts here and call it good. So make sure you stay tuned for the next video, where we're going to be getting old Henry out of the shed here, hooking onto this thing, and giving this old Culti-Packer a good test to see how well it works on doing what it's supposed to do. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Yeah, that'll be coming up shortly. We're still waiting on a few parts for the little Alice little B, so as soon as that gets here, we'll be working back on that one again as well. So in the meantime, thank you to all the new subscribers we've picked up. It means a lot. And keep on watching. So we'll be back with more bad dad jokes and more old iron here after a while. Thank you again. Be careful out there. Bye-bye for now.